Hello, my elevated professionals. I am so excited to come your way with yet an interesting and educative tip for the week. I am Pearl, and I welcome you to EPC Business Zone, where we discuss all things corporate and business etiquette, professional development, marketing, and customer experience. The best time to invest in your career for the future is when you are a young professional. As a young professional, you have the opportunity to learn from senior colleagues, develop core competencies, attitudes, and professional ethics that would come in handy later in your career. But quite often, young professionals make mistakes at this stage, and these mistakes have a negative impact on their professional careers. Today, let's discuss a few of these career mistakes and make sure we avoid them. Mistake number 1, focusing only on your job and not supporting other colleagues. Too many times we find that young professionals only focus on what they have been assigned to do and not lend helping hands to other colleagues who need them. The benefit of doing this is that you tend to learn from other people. You also tend to learn on the job and develop yourself. This leads me to the second mistake that I find young professionals making. It's not being a team player. If you're just focused on doing your job and your job only and not supporting others, you tend not to be a team player. Being a team player teaches you other skills that you may not know and teaches you things you do not know on the job. It's very important that as young professionals, we help each other and be team players. The third mistake I find that people make in their early years of career is not learning from cross-functional teams. Imagine you are in finance and all you do every day of the week is to do just your finance role. You only develop yourself in that role and have a skewed knowledge. But as a young professional developing your career, it's very important that you learn from other departments and other functions. This broadens your scope and gives you a broader perspective and the whole business sense. We also find a lot of young professionals making the mistake of putting money before their careers. What does this mean? Young professionals these days are just focused on how much they are being paid, what they are being paid, what they are taking home, and not focusing so much on the bigger picture of learning and developing themselves. This tends to make them not to learn on the job, and this is another mistake that young professionals make. To avoid these mistakes, let us make sure that even as we are growing and developing our careers as young professionals, we take advantage of mentorship opportunities. Too many young professionals do not or are not seeking mentorship. Those who are seeking it also are looking at high unreached mentors. Seeking mentorship is not only with CEOs. You can seek mentorship with your senior managers. You can seek mentorship with people who are 2 or 3 levels above you. Why do this? These people are easier to reach. These people are where you are striving to be next. And so they can give you the tips for your next level. Another mistake that I see a lot of young professionals make is neglecting soft skills. They focus so much on their technical abilities, harnessing and honing those technical abilities, which is great. But keep in mind that soft skills take you even further. Whilst developing your soft skills, be mindful to also develop your interpersonal skills. This is an added bonus that we should not make as a young professional. Now, this takes me to my final 2 mistakes that we find young professionals making these days. not adhering to the corporate culture or the core values. Too many young professionals have different work values that do not align with the corporate culture or the work value of the organization they work in. And this creates a lot of stress for them. Avoid this. Make sure that your core values align with the organizational values. If you want to learn more on how to develop your work values, I have a video on this, and it will be indicated in the text below. My final tip is that we need to avoid engaging in unprofessional relationships in the organization. Too many times we find young professionals making this mistake and engaging in unprofessional relationships with colleagues and even with superiors. This can harm your career development. So do well to avoid them. I'm sure we've learned a thing or two in this episode and this topic. We're going to make sure that we avoid these mistakes. I want to know which of these mistakes you have made in the past, which of these mistakes you are currently making and need to make the turnaround and improve yourself. Let's get talking and send me all your comments on the social media platforms listed below. Whilst you do that, remember to subscribe to our channel as we elevate to excel, and turn on your notification buttons so that when we upload any video, you are aware. I'll leave you with this quote from Earl Nightingale, and he says, "The biggest mistake you can make is to believe that you are working for somebody else. Job security is gone. The driving force of a career must come from the individual. Remember, you own your career." Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. I am Pearl, and have a blessed week.